Incredible Edible Latinos. I am the executive director and founder of the Black Sex Worker Collective. I am here to give you the final update of the BSWC for the year 2020. I know that you didn't get the November update. That's because things were a little bit hectic and just couldn't get it out in time. And I definitely did try to send out some updates about some fundraisers that different organizations were doing for us. But unfortunately, something went all disarray with the email and it never got there. And I just was like, I hope everybody's like following us on the social media, because if you don't see it in the update, you'll definitely see it on Instagram and you'll definitely see it on Twitter and Facebook if I'm not blocked or if one of the other account admins are on and can do the work. So with that said, if you are not following us on social media, please go and find us, because that is the best way to keep up with things, because sometimes the email things can be really difficult and there's so many other things that we're all taking care of personally and trying to deal with professionally, like applying for grants and things like that. So sometimes things can get missed, because remember, this is a grassroots organization, and while we do have some funding, we don't have enough to pay people's salaries. So we've kind of got to do it as best as we can. Anyway, I want to take this time to say happy holidays to everyone. Happy Kwanzaa. And I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, seriously, with your retweeting, resharing of things that we've got going on, attending the events that people have been putting on. A lot of people put on a lot of events in our honor this year to raise some funds for us. You have donated time and time again. You have purchased merch. You've done so many wonderful, beautiful things. And I really want to tell you all thank you, but also keep up the good work in 2021. We definitely rely a lot on people making individual donations, no matter how small, to keep things going. We've helped so many sex workers in 2020 to stay in housing, to buy groceries, to deal with immigration costs and legal fees and things like that. And we also need to keep that going. Additionally, and I don't want anyone to ever forget this, the funding also helps with the general operations of the organizations. So when you do send in money, depending on what we got going on, it pays for our bills. We do pay for a lot of apps and other services like that, as well as it does give stipends for us to be able to do the work. So your money doesn't just go into one place. So before it gets too long and talkity, let me just get right down to some points. I want to first say that our website is undergoing a wonderful change. It's dragging on a little bit long because I am the one leading the reins on that, and it's, a tedious task. But if you go to the website and it looks like a little just know that it's being revamped, and just look out for a better BSWC site, hopefully by Black History Month. That's my goal. It was initially January, but finalizing grad school. So let's hope by February 1st, just in time for Black History Month, it's gone. It's fantastic. So thank you for that. Secondly, I want to say that there have been quite a good handful of people within this past year that have taken advantage of our name and tried to co-opt the Black Sex Worker Collective imagery and mission, and claim that they're going to do fundraisers for us. And in some instances, we have not received any money, any communication with these groups or individuals. And we're trying to crack down on that. So what I do is I definitely ask people to, if they're gonna do a fundraiser for us, that they have to reach out to us personally to connect and have that conversation. And what I'm gonna do for 2021 is make sure we have some kind of written agreement or whatever with, how the money is gonna be dispersed and when and who's doing it and what. I've also been guilty of sharing some fundraisers that were supposed to be done for us, only for us never to receive the money, even after speaking to the person, when people have come to us and asked us or told us, hey, we'd like to do this for you. How do we go about doing it? And still, you know what? They disappear and it's freaking crickets. And it's really disheartening that people would use Black people's body, space, time, creativity, imagery like that. It's really deceiving. And I really don't like it. You know, it's a very unethical practice. It happens, but, you know, from now on moving forward, I hope that these people and these groups that do this understand that I am the queen of outing your fucking ass, and I definitely will start posting up your websites, the emails and everything, and letting people know that you did not send us donations. So that way people know for the future not to trust you, even when you're trying to do a fundraiser for another group. There's about several of them actually in 2020 that I haven't gotten around to posting up, but trust me, soon as I finish some things opening up the new year, I'm going to be putting all your asses on blast, because I really don't like that unethical practice. We try to be very honest with everything that we do here, and I really don't appreciate, and nobody should appreciate, having their imagery being used to lie to the public. Next item up is that if by now you have not gotten your t-shirt from our July 22nd fundraiser, you should look in the mail for it. A lot of things happened in between the fundraiser and you know, and now that things could not be worked out. And one of those things was like trying to get the running out of t-shirts and trying to get our Teespring store put up. And at one point, Teespring, when they were giving us problems in the beginning, and it wasn't me, someone else actually worked on it, reached out to them and said, look, we're not able to set up such and such and such. Can you please help us? It literally took them about a month before they got back to us. And, you know, again, no one's really getting paid a salary. It becomes really, really difficult to get anything done. So people should be receiving their shirts. If you haven't gotten it by the end of this month, you should be getting it at some point in January. If you haven't, please reach out to me. I'm fine to send anyone their shirt that does not have it. And with that said, we do have our new Teespring store up. I think it's like teespring.com/shops BSWC or something like that. But we are on there. The link at the very least is on our TheBSWC Instagram page. So if you go into our bio, you will see all of our links up there. So check it out. Some of the merch is there. I'm hoping to have somebody start putting in new merch and have our sex worker artists create different things that can go into the shop so you can continue to support us any way that you can. So we really appreciate that. Next item up. We've been having a lot of issues changing over Fiscal sponsors, and the current sponsor that we have is also not going to work out. So as of now, if you still want to make a donation to us, we still do have our Act Blue link available. I'm going to make sure that it's up in our bio on Instagram and also up on the website in the coming days. So if you want to make a donation to us closing out the year, please use the Act Blue link. Anything else is just not going to work out. We're having way too much issues, you know, getting money, not getting money from the sponsor, but just way too much issues. So we're going to change over to a new sponsor for the top of 2020. So please look out for that. Stick with us, you know, through that, ride this out. You know, Fiscal sponsorship, it's a real tricky situation. And this is part of the reason why I want BSWC to have 501c3 status moving forward. It's a process that can take, you know, a couple of years, you know, because you kind of have to be established for a few years at first before you can get it. And we haven't even gotten into year 3 yet. And there's a whole lot of paperwork that I've got to do to make sure that everything is together and in the right order so that we can have a smooth transition into our own C3 status. And that way we can fiscally sponsor other organizations and support them, because you will not believe how much heartache, stress, and disappointment can come into Fiscal sponsorship. And I want to be able to put a dagger in that and say, hey, here's this grassroots-led organization, Black woman-led organization, sex worker-led organization that understands that we have to work from a harm reduction point of view, and we have to really try to support and uplift each other. So I'm hoping that if not for this year, maybe for 2022, we can either hopefully have Fiscal sponsorship already, because we know the US government right now ain't shit and everything's a goddamn mess and whatever. Shout out to all the wonderful grants that we received this year from organizations such as the Third Wave Fund, Sex Worker Giving Circle. Third Wave has also assisted us with I forget the grant, the grant name, but the emergency grant to help us have the fundraiser in July. Thank you to the New York Bail Fund, who just recently gave us a $25,000 donation. Thank you so much for that, as well as Urgent Action Fund, Resist. I can never forget Resist, and all the wonderful people that I hope that I'm not forgetting. CJI. I'm so sorry, CJI. CJI has also funded us, and we're hoping to get refunded again for 2021, because without this funding, we literally cannot operate, right? So thank you so much to all those wonderful donors, those organizations that have funded us and hopefully will continue to fund us moving into the next year. What we are getting ready to do, BSWC, for its 3rd birthday and also for International Whores Day 2021, is we are planning the Black Sex Worker Conference. So we've already got some people on board that are going to be joining this initiative to bring some education and to bring some wonderful art and some beautiful sex worker-led spaces and more for you to, give out this information. So listen, if you want to take part in that, please make sure you hit me up. Hit the contact button on the website, and either myself or someone else will respond to the email to tell you what you would need to do to be a part of it, which right now is kind of, we're still kind of working on the details. The conference is not just for sex workers, and it's not just for Black sex workers. It is, however, a Black sex worker-led space. And now you know that sex worker rights is a very intersectional issue. Therefore, it's going to include things, and I've already got somebody on board that's going to be talking about water crises happening in some parts of the world, as well as other things around food justice and economic justice. And I'm looking forward to seeing people come on board and, take part and try to, again, like the fundraiser was, make this about a labor issue and labor rights and human rights and immigration rights and things like that kind of conference with a big Black sex worker-led theme. So if you want to take part, again, hit me up. Please remember that we still do our monthly Black chat for current and former sex workers, and because of some of the funding that we've received, we were able to pay participants $25 to attend. You must be a current or former Black sex worker. It's only for us to get together and have casual conversation. All right, so be a part of that movement. Also, remember that if you want to become a BSWC member, it's super easy. We have meetings every 2 weeks online, which you can join in, learn about what we are doing, support, and take part of some of the initiatives. We've got some really interesting things that we're going to be working on for 2021. We'll tell you about it later when we've kind of gotten to the next step into it, because right now we're into the baby steps. But we've got some things coming for 2021, and we are definitely going to need volunteers and supporters to make sure that goes off without a hitch. If you'd like to volunteer, definitely send an email to us and we will respond. But please make sure that you are honest and sincere about the time that you have to contribute, even if it's just 4 hours a week, and you have a specialty, we'll take it. We just need people who are consistent and who are serious about helping us grow. No flakiness. I understand that people have a lot of things going on, but when it comes to grassroots stuff like this and in Black spaces, we do tend to get a lot of flaky people. And I really just want to try to do away with that as much this year as possible. But we appreciate you even considering wanting to give it some kind of help. And trust me, we need it in every aspect there is for capacity building. We're going to need it. So if you want to volunteer, make sure to shoot us a message. We have got one of our members that is currently in a crisis, and we're trying to help raise money for him so that he can have housing, have food, and so on. His name is Christian Alexander Lovehall, a wonderful spoken word artist who also just did a coloring, not a coloring book, I don't know if it was a comic book or a children's book, actually. Sorry, Christian, I don't mean to be butchering your project, about being a Black trans boy. My name is Troy. Amazing project. I wish that we produced it, but we did not. Please support Christian's book, My Name is Troy, by purchasing it. Or if you go to our Twitter, as well as you will see in our Instagram bio, you'll see the link there to Christian's GoFundMe, where you can also help raise money for his personal project, and also donate money there to help him get into housing. Yeah, very important stuff. While BSWC does work as a conduit for donors and supporters to give money and we give it back to the community, it's also important from time to time to also do, direct funding to people. It's important that people have the money in their own hands without having to even go through us to be able to receive those funds. While we work pretty fairly and pretty easily, sometimes people just need to have the money directly. And, there are people sometimes that don't even know about us or have access to us, or, whatever other reasons that they're not working with BSWC. So even though Christian is one of our leaders, one of our members, longtime members, we want to make sure too that people know that they can give directly to him. And yes, BSWC has donated, and we are doing the groundwork to try and help Christian find housing. So there's a couple of ways that you can help, so please make sure that you do that and look out for our community members. And closing out, I'd like to say a big shout out to some of the groups that we've been working with: Best Practices Policy Project, Outlaw Project, New Jersey Red Umbrella Alliance, Desiree Alliance, Soldiers of Pole, who are my absolute favorite people, I swear, in the whole wide world, and all the other projects that we'd love to work with, like PDX Stroller, PDX Stripper Strike, Cat Hollis, and all these other wonderful groups. If you haven't seen it, please go to Rosa Lux, the website. I'll put it up here somewhere, and read my piece about, sex work in times of COVID and the things that I talk about there. Just to keep up with what's happening, not just in the States, but also in Berlin, Germany, where I'm currently stationed at the moment. But remember, BSWC is still a US-based organization. We just have a Berlin branch, a German branch, I should say, that one of our lovely members, Z, is the coordinator of Germany. So additionally, we are also working on opening some other branches in the new year. We're just waiting on either grants to come in or the people that want to take charge in it to kind of get settled in, and then we take those next steps. If anyone wants to start a BSWC branch, please hit us up, go right ahead, let us know what you want to do with it. Every branch is unique, but certain things stay the same, like our purple color, which is a representation of royalty, as well as a representation of labor rights globally, and things that are pertaining to Black workers and Black immigrants, and all that full spectrum of everything powerful and wonderful that has to do with purple. And this also includes our Lord and Savior Prince. Thank you for being with us from 2018 until now. We hope to be here for many years to come to provide service to the community without giving them hell, just holding their hands, giving them all the support they need to be uplifted. Thank you so much for supporting BSWC, and we, all of us, will see you in 2021. Stay strong and prosper. Check the description for links to like and follow us on social media. Sign up for our newsletter at TheBSWC.org, and please consider making a tax-deductible donation at actblue.com/donate/BSWC.